Hey everyone, it's Jessica with another layout for the Shimmerz Paints design team. If you want to place an order, you can use my name Jessica to earn a free gift. I'm also pairing this up with some acrylic stash busting today. So a few of my friends and I play along with an acrylic stash busting series a couple times a month. So their videos are going to be linked down in the description below for you. So make sure you check those out. And again, if you want to place an order for any mixed media, Shimmerz paints, if you add my name Jessica to the notes section when you're placing your order in your cart, then they'll send you a really good free gift with your order. So I am starting this off. I applied some clear gesso to a piece of white cardstock, and then I let that dry on there. Then I'm just using some Spritz today. So this is a super easy way to apply mixed media to a background. You can see that I've applied several different colors, which I will link all these colors down below because I've used quite a few on this one today. So I just added some various shades of blues there, and as you can see, I'm just picking up my paper and tilting it and making them kind of blend together and just getting the effect that I want. And then I use a little bit of hint of mint spritz there to just add a little minty color, and you're not going to notice it in the long run, but I have a cute couple little drips on that left side that I really wanted to incorporate that color in there and get some of that little mint in there. I've got a Cutfile here that you keep seeing me drag into this frame. It's actually a Cutfile by Peartree Cutfiles that I've pulled out, and I just backed using papers from the Simple Stories Happy Travels collection, which is new, and I am just loving this collection. I love the colors in it. It's so good. So these colors that I've pulled out coordinate with the colors in that collection, and I kind of dried this up a little bit because I wanted to add a couple more colors, but I didn't want them to blend together completely and make kind of a muddy water effect. You can see when these blend together, when I added the water to that orange, it kind of makes them muddier brown, which I do not want. So I'm careful how much water I'm adding. I don't want to potentially reactivate all of those blues, but I do want them to blend together a little bit. So just be careful how much water you add whenever you already have color down. And then here you can see I just wanted to darken this up a little bit, so I'm adding a little bit more of a darker shade of blue. I think it was Deep Blue Sea. And then the yellowish one there at the top was Mustard Seed. That's a Vibes. And I really just wanted to get some more yellow color in there and just give some color variation. You can see there how that's going to look with my Cutfile on top and just those various colors peeking out, which is what I wanted. So I'm just dabbing up some of those larger pools that are on the middle section of the paper. I'm just going to let this dry a little bit, flicking on some water there to create a little bit more marbling. And you can see I have a little bit softer edges on the outsides where I've dried up with my paper towel roll. That's kind of a little technique I like to use if you want to soften the edges up. Just dry them up quickly with your paper towel and it'll soften them right up. It won't make them super bold. If you want more of a bolder look, use them and let them dry. So you'll want to leave them wet. You can see that pool that I have there, that's going to be a little bit darker because I left it wet and left it dry on its own. So here I'm just flicking on some various shades here for some splatters. I didn't actually like the harsh splattered lines of that orange, so I went ahead and just blended them in with some water. And that's the great thing about the gesso. If you don't like something that you do, you can quickly just dab it up and it'll make it disappear altogether, or you can just blend it in with some water, which is usually what I do. I'm going to go ahead and work on my photos at this point. That mixed media is pretty dry. I just have some splatters that are drying. I did go through and add some Gold Digger splatters. That's the gold splatter. It's a color splash product. So there's various different products in the spray bottles. We've got Spritz, which is just like a light little spritz, not super pigmented. So it just adds a little tiny bit of color or sparkle. And then we've got the Vibes and the Coloringz and Color Splash, where they're all a bit more pigmented. So if you like more vibrance in your colors, then those are the kinds of products that you want to go for. The Shimmerz products in the little pots are going to be pigmented as well, but they are more shimmery. So when they dry, you're going to get a lot more shimmer in those products than color, if that makes sense. But you'll still get some of the color. It just won't be super bold unless you don't add a lot of water to it. So I've got my layers here. I've decided to use a larger tag behind my photo strip here. I've got some photos that I'm using today from a theme park, and we were riding the carousel. This is my little baby girl, and I took several photos of her, and she really liked the carousel. The music is so loud on this carousel, so I was really surprised that she was actually enjoying it, because most of my kids seemed like they were scared the first couple times that they rode it, but she was fine. And this is just a little nice photo strip that I've created by printing on my small Canon selfie printer, and then just crop them down into this little film strip, and then just added a bunch of layers using small papers from the 6x8 paper pad in that Happy Travels collection. And then I'm grabbing this little chipboard clippy, which I just love. I love little clips and things to add around my photos. They're just a great little embellishment and very versatile. It's a non-wordy bit embellishment, which I tend to find like it's hard to find things that you can use on your layout sometimes that aren't word phrases. So it's nice to just be able to add little binder clips to anything. And same with florals. You can always add flowers into basically any type of layout. So give me all the flowers and all the binder clips all day long, and I will use them. And I've got some acrylics that I'm pulling in here. I've got some little flowers that I'm using up from Coloringz Designs, and I didn't actually use them all up, so I still have some left. But that's the point of the acrylic stash busting, is to use our acrylic stash. A few of my friends and I just discovered that we have so many acrylics in our stash, and we keep adding more all the time. So we try to do this series a couple times a month, where we make it a point to use our acrylics on our pages or projects and get them used up. So I've added a few little acrylic flowers to this one that match this color scheme. My acrylics that I'm using today are by Coloringz Designs, and I've also got that little XO. That one's by the same company, and it came in like a little Valentine's Day set. So I thought that would be super cute to go right there on top of my little photo strip, and it matches perfectly with my color scheme today. And I'm just using some Nuvo glue to glue those down, and my little embellishments, the same thing. Nuvo glue works wonders whenever you're adding embellishments and die cuts on top of mixed media, because sometimes mixed media isn't always adhesive friendly. Like a tape runner doesn't always stick, so it might seem like it sticks when you're doing it, and then I found that sometimes over time it kind of lets loose. So I like to use that Nuvo glue or something similar. A liquid adhesive works great on mixed media. I've got some various threads here. I'm just going to add into my layout. I'm going to scatter some of these colors about my layout for some texture and some additional color. I'm just kind of using it like an embellishment today. So of course I'm going to create my glue dot sandwich. I add some glue dots to my canvas flare here by Scrappin Happy Studio, and then I add my thread behind it. I just take a real long strip, kind of hold it up high and drop it into my hand, kind of twirling it around as I go, and then I have this cute little thread twiddle behind my flare. So I love the way that that looks. It adds texture, it adds color. It's just a great little kind of embellishment for your layout or your project. I'm going to add some more in these other shades around my layout, but for now I'm going to go ahead and work on this twine here. This is just some wax twine that I got on Amazon. I'll link it below because I love it. It comes in a whole big pack with a whole bunch of colors. It is a stiffer twine, but I really like it because you can really manipulate it to exactly where you want it, and it kind of stays put to where you want it to go, if that makes sense. And it has like a really nice feel to it. So I love the way that this cut file looks. I've added that puffy foam geo tag on the O, and I just really love all the colors in that collection. It just goes perfectly with my little photos of my girl here and all these beautiful items that I've pulled out. And that flare matched perfectly with this collection as well, so that worked out really well. And then I'm just going to finish this up by grabbing some sequins. So I'm not adding a ton of embellishments on this one because I really love how this mixed media looks. I don't want to cover it all up, and I feel like I've covered up quite a bit with this cut file alone, so I want to keep as much here as possible. I'm just going to go ahead and use some Nuvo glue on my cut file and get that down on my page as well. And then I'll work on adding some thread. Baby girl is here. She's been here in this video. You've seen her popping into the frame and checking out when I was doing my mixed media. Now she's playing with my paper towels. She'll probably steal something. I tend to find various elements around my room here, my craft room right now. kind of doubles as a playroom as well. So she's able to play in here and have fun. But a lot of the time she's sitting right here beside me and scrapping along. So you'll see her pop in the frame from time to time. I debated on using any of these little epoxy round, these are like adhesive brads. So I just added a couple of them. Again, I didn't want to add a ton of things, but I did want to add a couple just for color. And because I'm going to add a few sequins too, they tend to look really nice whenever you combine them with sequins. And then just pulling out the sticker sheet here from that Happy Travels collection to use some of the little word phrases and little stickers off of there. Here's a couple of the sequin mixes that I'm using today. These are by Catherine Poehler. One is called Oslo, O-S-L-O, and the other one is called Tuscany at the bottom there. So that top blue one is the Oslo, and then the Tuscany one is the other one at the bottom, just color matching with those. So here's the finished layout. I absolutely love this one and love how this came together. This one's gonna go up on my wall for display for a little while because I just love that mixed media. So I hope I've inspired you guys to create. I hope that I've helped you not be super intimidated by mixed media and be willing to try it out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out my friends' videos down below in the description. Thanks guys, have a great day, bye-bye.